Welcome back to Black Chat. I'm your host, Robbie J. And beside me I have Hassan, and beside him is Paul. And today we're going to be talking about questions that you're afraid to ask black people. So what people don't know is that Black Chat was kind of started through a conversation we had at work. And it's actually 20 years in the making, surprisingly. So I used to have some of my best conversations at work with black folks who we just have honest conversations about race and ethnicity and things going on politically in America. And I found that the conversations were always real and honest, and I really appreciated that. Fast forward to about a month or two ago, and I was sitting in the office and talking to Hassan, and we were having a conversation over the Department of Education. And I said, I kind of had this idea for something called Black Chat, where we would just sit around and talk about controversial issues, especially those facing the African American community. And then I'll let Hassan talk for himself. But he was like, that's a really good idea for a podcast. And it kind of took off from there. Go ahead, Hassan.
He didn't believe me when I said, let's do it. I'm telling you, 2 or 3 days went by. He said, well, we're going to do the podcast? He said, you're serious? I said, let's do this shit. Let's do it. I was like, okay, so we brought Paul in. And I remember the day I was walking into the office, into the building, and I said, hey, Paul, we're doing a podcast. He said, I'm in. I said, you didn't even give me a chance to say what it was.
He didn't even ask the topic.
Like, straight up, I was like, I'm in. Because I'm different, man. Like, I don't have to know all the details off the bat, because for me, if you can reach one, you're doing something positive. I just want to have a major positive impact on society. You have a lot of stuff out there where people's not really talking about things that impact black people or society in a whole. Like, if you look at it, even the state of our society, people are hurting, man. They don't have an outlet they can really and truly vent. And so I feel like this is a time or a situation where 3 people can get together, 3 men can get together and talk about stuff that's really impacting our society and be open to have real dialogue and discussion. Ain't nothing like it.
Yeah, because some of it could be uncomfortable. And I like uncomfortable conversations, and that's exactly what we're having here.
Facts.
Right, I do too. And I mean, on top of that, I do think that you hear this tossed around, especially on social media right now, which is, well, it's going to be a real and honest conversation. And then you hear a bunch of BS and you're just like, this isn't real. None of these people, none of the things that they're saying are interesting or controversial in any way, shape, or form. The reason we created Black Chat Podcast was to basically say those things, to not have those, I don't know if I can say this type of atmosphere. We want to be honest about it. And I'm going to say controversial things as the sole white guy on the panel. It's just the way that it's going to be. And there may be some people watching that are like, that white guy is nuts. And that's fine. I'm fine with that. I can take it. That's what my wife, Coach, that's what she says to me all the time. She's like, you're nuts. I get it. But Black Chat is really about having an honest conversation. It's not about BS. It's not about filler. It's not about saying what we think is politically correct today. It's about having the conversation. So I wanted to kind of start off this episode. We're going to call this Questions You're Afraid to Ask Black People. And what I did is I didn't come up with these questions on my own, although I could have. I asked ChatGPT to come, and you're going to find out that I'm a big ChatGPT guy. I asked ChatGPT to come up with 10 questions that are inappropriate or are asked of black people frequently. And we're going to go over those questions. I'm going to let the panel answer, and I may cut in with some funny anecdotes here and there. The first question I have, which is not from ChatGPT, is really, I want to ask you guys why you never stay through a whole movie. I've found that when I go to a movie theater that the black people tend to get up right in the middle of the damn movie. And I'm like, there's still 45 minutes left. What's going on here? Why are we leaving? I don't understand.
To beat the crowd.
Right. It's to beat the crowd.
Or if the movie was whack. Like, really. Like, it's either one of those.
Let me tell you something. I watched Avengers Endgame. There ain't no reason to leave that movie early, okay? You got to watch the post-credit scene, the 35-hour, secondary scene, and then the final scene. There's a whole bunch of scenes at the end. So if you just leave, you're going to miss all that. But all the black people just get up in the theater and they walk out. And I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
Yo, man, it literally, it depends. Like, if it's a horror movie, The first person to die first is a black person. Why? Like, why I'm gonna stay? Because like that's already showing you what they think about black people. They feel like we're not strong enough to make it to the end. When really we've been strong enough to last this long in this society. They literally kill the black person first.
It's true. It's a trope.
So why am I going to stay in the movie when I know what the outcome is? Because heck, I'm pulling for the black person. So the black person's dead. I'm rolling the hell out.
Let me tell you something. I brought up Avengers Endgame, and you go to horror movies. You see what the problem is? You didn't even answer my question, Paul.
Because that's cap, though. That's cap. Because you got to look at it like this. Like, that's cap. Legit.
What's cap? What does that mean?
It's a lie. It's a BS. Because, all right, so hold up. To my end game, right? War Machine's a black guy. Like he was paralyzed. They had to figure out something to get like the black guy paralyzed. Really?
I didn't even think of it.
Come on. They always do so bad to the black guy. And then like if you look at like
no, they even kicked the first black dude off and
recasted him.
Let me tell you something. There's a black guy that's Captain America now. All right. Let me tell you something.
Talk about it.
And he's not even supposed to be Captain America.
Yes, he does.
No.
Yes, he does. Because if you look if you literally look at the Marvel Universe, that was a black Captain America. Let's talk about it then. If you want to talk about Endgame, Thanos was supposed to kill dadgum Iron Man. He was supposed to kill Captain America. His ass supposed to have been dead and plastered all over the dadgum on field. But who they killed? Let's kill Iron Man. Some people was excited about it. I want to see that dude wasted. So the black guy can come in and take it. I'm just being 100.
Nah,
you're not being 100.
Hold up. No, not only that. Why is it that every white superhero gets recasted? Superman has been recasted 100 times, but Black Panther dies in real life. They recast them or they just cancel. Like how? Why?
Well, they made him Shuri. To be honest, I mean, I don't know about all that.
Bro.
Right, that's not Black Panther.
We can't even have a superhero.
But even look,
think about it.
Exactly, you're right. And then if you look at the latest Captain America movie, they found every possible reason to downplay and degrade and not make that movie successful. Why? Because there was a black man playing a role.
But didn't you think he was good enough as Falcon? See, that's what I don't understand. Well, let's just let Captain America. No. Let's just let Captain America die. First off, Falcon doesn't have the same powers as Captain America.
Correct.
Captain America is a super soldier. How the hell is Falcon fighting the Red Hulk? It's not possible. He can't. He gets smushed.
Hold up, but did you see how Red Hulk was whooping his ass? Did you see that? You didn't see the movie, did you?
No, I'm not watching that garbage.
I saw
That's why I didn't see it. I didn't see it, Paul.
Wow.
No,
is it garbage because a black man is playing it?
Yes.
Wow.
No, you know what?
Now I know you feel it.
No, it's not.
I'm going to say something that people hate that I say.
Oh, here we go.
I hated, absolutely hated Black Panther, the first one. I hated it.
Whoa.
Yes.
I'm kind of shocked by that. It's a pretty good movie.
No, listen. This is the reason.
Even
This is
I
the
liked
reason
it.
why I love Marvel. The visuals were beautiful. Loved the visuals. The storyline threw me off. Think about this, Paul. What happened in there? A black king abandoned his son. Typical bullshit. You can't tell me that was.
Yeah.
Nah, I didn't like it.
Yeah,
I didn't like it.
He got blown up.
Nah. Mm-mm.
He was in the UN.
The king went to America, had a son, abandoned him, and forgot about him, and went back to Africa.
But hey,
why?
But I'm not gonna front. Killmonger saved that movie though.
He did.
But
But like in real life,
That's
in
only
real
because
life, his father made him that villain.
That's because Michael B. Jordan's a great actor. That's
Didn't
the only
like it.
reason he saved that.
Didn't like it.
But think about it though, and like it's crazy. But look at society today. Isn't that what they paint us to be?
That's why I didn't want it in the movie. What happened to Superman's father? He didn't leave him. Captain America's father, he didn't leave him. None of them. No other.
Superman's father did leave him.
No, he
did.
didn't.
No, wait a second. Let me tell you.
He sent him to another place. Listen, we're gonna die. You go there. Like,
let me tell you about something I'm familiar with, which is white people. Okay. Let me tell you about white people real quick. Okay,
right, so it's about white
Superman's father put him in a capsule and sent him to Earth, okay? Because the whole planet was about to blow up. He didn't save anybody else. You talk about white people. He only saved one person out of the 14 billion people that lived on that planet.
No, and his cousin. His cousin was saved also.
Okay,
But
that's a whole other story.
But here's our point. They try to make it paint us to be the people that abandon their kids. They say black fathers abandon their kids.
Who's
black
they?
fathers? Society. White people, everybody. They like to say black people, we're painted to be the villains because we're not a part of our kids' lives. And I think that's complete bullshit. Because I know for a fact, now granted, that's the way they try to make us to be the villain. And that's not right, man, because you got to look at it. You have black fathers that literally want to be a part of their kids' lives, that are involved in their kids' lives, but they've made that stereotype and that stigma that, like, we're not a part of it and we're not in it. And I agree. That's complete bullshit. I'm sorry.
I don't know about you, Paul. But I will say this. Listen, I agree. But I think that the problem that I see with these kinds of things is, especially when it comes to Captain America, is that you're getting the seconds, right? You're not getting your own role. Black Panther is your role, right? As a black man, Black Panther is your role. If they were to take that role and then give it to a white guy, you'd be like, "What the hell? Why would you do that? That's messed up."
They killed Black Panther. He died in real life.
He died in real life.
He died in real life. Why didn't they just recast him? No, they
did. They gave it to Shuri.
No.
Well, you cannot like it. I'm just telling you what it is.
How many times Superman died in real life? Why didn't they just kill him off?
Well, I'm gonna tell you
because he's Superman.
The original Superman died in real life. Why didn't they kill him? They just recasted him. So
you know what they did already,
for the last 50 years they recasted Superman.
We need to give our producer a microphone.
So the reason why they did that, man, because they wanted to promote the woman, black women excellence. That's what that was about. Straight up, that was to actually define their rise, because that shows that a black woman is able to do anything, and they also have a voice and a purpose. That was their time to bring them to the forefront. That's what that was about. Because I'm not gonna lie, my daughter was all up about that. Like, she was in it.
I don't disagree, but at the same time, during that time, every Marvel movie flopped.
They're still flopping. They're still garbage.
I'm not. Listen. I love all of them. I like all of. Listen, but every single movie flopped.
They've been flopping now hard.
That's right. And this Thunderbolt's gonna flop too. And
Fantastic
Four is going to flop too.
I don't think those.
You heard it here. Robbie J said Fantastic Four, Four, and Thunderbolts flop.
You know what I think?
Watch.
I think Disney needs to send us some tickets so we can early.
Right. So we can see we'll review that for you. We'll let you know.
Yeah.
We also review movies.
Oh, we need to talk about that then.
We do. I haven't even gotten to my question.
Go to the next one.
But y'all shouldn't be stealing Captain America. That's for me, okay? That ain't for you, all right? You stay with Falcon, okay?
Nah, bro. Black Captain America, about damn time.
Oh, Lord Almighty. Okay.
Bucky should have been the next Captain America.
That's correct.
Yes.
Bucky should have been the next Captain America. That was the logical, and that's what happens in the comics.
No, like there is a black Captain America. Don't play me like that.
It's inconvenient. I get it.
Yep, it is.
The first question that I have for black people. Remember now, the first one was mine when we were talking about movie theaters, and we went into this tangent. This one is from ChatGPT. Can I touch your hair? Is number
Hell
one.
no.
Listen.
Who asked this anyway? Who the hell is asking you? Do people ask you that?
Listen. It's normally.
I'm being serious.
It's normally older white women in supermarkets. I don't know why.
In the supermarket.
Like, yes, they want to touch your kid's hair. They want to touch your hair.
Is it real?
Oh, what is this? What is that? Like, how do you do this?
Wow.
Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, it's always an older white woman that tries to touch your hair.
No.
What do you do in that situation?
Move away. I'm like, no.
But like, yo, like, I don't know you. Mm-hmm. Like, you're my personal space. Like, you don't, like, no, like, you can't touch my hair. Is it real? Yes, it's real. Mm-hmm. Don't touch it.
That's like somebody asking if they can touch your pet. I mean, that's basically, you talk about dehumanizing someone. It's like when someone brings in a dog to like Home Depot or something, you're like, oh, can I pet your dog? That's kind of, to me, that's how that comes off. Can I pet you real quick?
Yeah, but not like, no, like, I'm not your pet. Like, you're not my owner. You're not able to touch my dadgum hair. We're not back in those days. Like, no, this is my space. Back up. You're not touching nothing that's on my body. Now, my wife can touch my hair all day, every day, twice on Sunday. My kids can too. But you ain't touching nothing on me, including my damn hair. Bar none.
I mean, I totally understand. I wouldn't want to go to the supermarket and be touched. No thanks.
It could be at work.
At work? You've had that? No, wait a second. You've had that happen at work?
No. But I'm saying, like, it could be in any type of situation. They could be like, catch your chair? No. Is that real? Yes. How they do that? None of your damn business.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Question number 2. Some black people use the N-word, but others cannot. Why?
All right. Listen. So for me, do I use the N-word? No. Because I understand what that word means. All right?
Yep.
So you got to look at where the black where the black people have come from. That word was used as a derogatory and demeaning thing. Being called the N-word is saying that you're a stupid, ignorant person. Every black person has some level of intelligence, and they have something to bring and something to contribute to America, bar none. I don't use it at all. And now they say, oh, it's a badge of courage. Yo, stop playing yourself, man. Like, for real.
Never heard it that way.
Yo, like, it's not like that. Because, like, I remember that, like, I used to work at Ryan's when I was in high school. And then somebody was like, somebody called this lady server that I was working with the N-word. And she replied to him like this. She said, have you looked at yourself in the mirror? It was like, no. I said, you probably need to, because that's where you see that N-word. And I was like, wow, that's profound. It's not a badge of honor. It's not. People need to understand, like, being the N-word is not cool. Being called the N-word is not cool. Like, yeah, rappers put it in songs, everything like that. Like, if you calling me an N-word, that means you think something negative about me, and we about to have a problem. Straight up. Like, you better not call me an N-word, because now we're going to throw hands.
So when you mentioned rappers, when you hear Eminem use the term, what do you think?
I don't listen to Eminem.
Eminem has never said the N-word.
Are you sure?
Yes. He did have a song that he did prior to his actual career. It was a whole song, and he said it was about some black female he was upset with, and he used it there. But with me, I use it all the time. But I don't use it for black people. I don't use it for white people either. I use it for people in general.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, and when I say it, I say, and I'm not talking about black people. I have to clarify that.
Yeah.
I use it for anyone who's ignorant.
Facts. And
That's just the way I use it personally.
But see, that's the right way to use it. It's not to say, hey, it's assigned to this person. You are an ignorant person. Therefore, you an N-word. Straight up. It's not like, yo, what's up, man? Hold up. Whoa.
All right.
Like, we ain't doing that. Like, number one, I'm not your peer. And number two, I'm not your N-word. Like, we ain't doing that. Yeah. But do I use it? Hell no. Do I listen to hip-hop music? Yes, I do. And people won't think I'm crazy. But, yo, I got Pandora. That shit's on clean. I don't listen to none of that cuss, none of that other stuff. Like, I don't do the N-word stuff, bro. That's me straight up.
You know, I'm going to just be honest with you. When anyone gets on my nerves, especially when I had a bad day at work or somebody at work did something, I'll come home and be like, these at work. People know how I use it, so they automatically know it was you. It was him or someone else. You know
Logan?
Sometimes it's Logan. Yeah. But, you know, it's never meant to be, like, aimed at a particular color. Like, I don't use it that way.
Right. Look at it like this, right? How would you feel if somebody said, yo, what's up, cracker?
See, I don't think it has the same stigma.
It doesn't.
Absolutely not.
Exactly. But it's worse on us.
Right, that's correct. I would agree with that. And I would say that somebody calling me cracker is probably going to make me laugh. Right? Because it sounds silly. It's like, oh, you're a cracker. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. I don't care. I mean, I'm going to go about my daily.
No.
Yo,
George Jefferson said it was funny.
So I'm not.
Yo, the Jeffersons.
You never saw the Jeffersons? Oh, wow. If anyone wants to know, we're talking to Logan. He's right here in the back of us. You can't, in front of us.
Yeah.
So I had a girl in high school who came up to me. She was a black girl, and she came up to me, and she was like, you're a cracker. And I was like, I don't care. I mean, it's meaningless. It's really, it doesn't carry the weight.
It doesn't.
When you're talking about using the N-word, you're talking about the entire history behind what
Hundreds
that word
of
is,
years.
where
Hundreds
it
of
came
years.
from, slavery. All of that is embedded into the word. Whereas cracker is just something someone invented that's really meaningless to me. I would say from a white perspective, we're petrified to say that. I would never, ever say that.
But you're more willing to say the word boy, though.
What's that?
But white people are more willing to say, what's up, boy?
Yeah, I mean,
They'll say boy.
Sure.
Yeah, and guess what? Calling a black person a boy has the same exact same damn meaning.
How about brother? How about the term brother?
You're not, no.
Okay, because I say that all the time. I'm just making sure that I'm clear on that.
All right, so like there's different connotations, right?
Yeah.
So when we say brother, that's like, yo, like you my bro, like we close, you know what I'm saying? So it just all depends on like the meaning and how you say it. But the N-word, that's a hell no. That boy is a hell no. As soon as you say it, it's like, yo, like, all right, what's up?
I mean, I think as a white person being an angsty teen, of course we've said it just to be like really cool. Oh, look what I can say. And, you know, when you're growing up, you say dummy things like that. But I really think in common society, man, you really got to be some sort of POS to use that term
Right.
in public.
Yeah.
I mean, you really got to push the bounds.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. Number 3.
Hold up, Logan wants to say something. What was it?
There's an entire Reddit thread to how many times Eminem has used the N-word.
And how many times has he said it?
Yeah. See, I told you Eminem's used the N word. I mean,
6 listed in one post.
6 in one post. Look at that.
He had a song.
Thanks, Logan.
It's
I
a
appreciate
song.
you doing that real quick. Number 3. Why don't black people talk more about black on black crime?
You want to know?
Man, look, there's more white on black crime than there is black on black crime.
No, I don't know about that. I
I
don't know
think
about
so.
that, Paul.
I,
I'm not saying. Listen,
Logan,
and I
look
want
it
to be. I want to caveat this by saying I'm not one of those assholes who thinks that black people are more violent or whatever they want to. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that I do think categorically that most races attack each other, right? I think that white people attack white people, black people attack black people. I think that there is instances. I'm not saying that, but I don't think it's like that. But go ahead. What do you think?
Well, you have to look at it like this.
Yep.
Normally, like where I'm from, we're all together. It's usually us, some Hispanics and trickle in a couple more, but it was majority black people. When I got down here, it was like I'm in the supermarket. I'm like, where these white people come from? Wasn't used to it. So you have to understand that people who are around each other all the time, and it's like majority of them are that race, then they will be the ones who fight.
Right.
It's just like in suburban areas where, now I'm not trying to say all suburban areas, but
Yeah.
where there's a majority of white people, who else do you attack?
right.
So I think when we do it, it's broadcasted a little bit more, so that's all you see.
Yeah.
For example, I don't mean to cut you off, but
Yeah.
for example, I worked with this Indian guy years ago. He said that when he came to this country, him and his wife came to this country, his wife was scared of black people. And I'm like, why? He said, because in India, when you see on the news, they only show the black people in the U.S. committing crimes. And this is
Yep.
from his mouth.
Yep.
This is what they do.
Yep.
So even here, it's sort of the same thing.
the same exact
When
thing.
you look at the news, they say African American male. But when we know when a white person did it, they'll say male.
That's the truth.
Look at the
That's
news.
true.
Watch the news. Pay attention to
Yes,
them.
they do.
Because these are probably things you don't realize. Or they'll say someone. Or they won't actually say. You never heard them say white male unless people know that it's a white male.
Right.
But if he's black, it does not matter. African American male, black male, and that's why people only see the black on black crime. We
I
don't
think
say
you'd be
anything about
surprised what I realized. But I mean, I do think, I was just being an ass, but I do think that you can look at, anytime there's a missing persons case, what is the ethnicity of the person who's missing all
It's
the
black.
time?
It's
No,
black.
No,
absolutely
it's
not.
normally
It's
white.
it's a white woman,
Look at-
always.
Look at it like
That's
this,
the
right?
only stories they profile are missing white women all the
Or
time.
missing white children.
That's
All right.
correct.
Yeah.
So
That's
look-
absolutely true.
So look at it like this, right? So you say like, why is it more black on black crime? This is me being completely real. All right, no BS, no filler. If you look at the crime that's being committed and stuff that's being done, where is it at? It is in what we call, it is like the underprivileged kids. It's in those communities that what we deem as the projects of the hoods. It is those people that is on like stuff like that are on assistance, right? So if you look at it, it is when you put people in that type of environment where it's dog eat dog and they feel like the only thing they got is their way to survive, and they feel like that's the only way they have is to survive. What they gonna do? They gonna feed on each other. Is that right? No. But is it right? They feel like this is the only thing they gotta do to survive? Yes, because what it is this. Some black people forget that we have always been people that have fought, grind, and made our way out to be successful. And so they have got to the point where, hey, you got the new Jordans. I want the new Jordans. How you get them? Next thing you know, they're killing themselves because they feel like, oh, this is my brotherhood. This, that, and third. That's not it. We've always been survivors. And when you put us in that type of environment, it's eat or be eaten. And sometimes it's like, yo, like, hey, I'm going to get you. Because I remember, like, it was one time, like, I'm from Macon, Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to spend a lot of time in the hood growing up at my cousin's house. I remember where Like at my cousin's house one night, there was a dude. Like we was just sitting in the living room chilling. Next thing you know, we heard shots bring out. Dude shot in the head 6 times. You know what I'm saying? And like, don't nobody know why, but when you're in the hood, it's like you either selling drugs or doing things, and they feel like that's what they got to do to survive. However, you don't. When I feel like this, when black people realize that there's other ways to make it out and everybody can make it, that black on black crime that everybody want to put out there to say, hey, this is what black people are doing, be a lot better. Because like I can turn around and say like, hey, like, because put it like this, the media puts out what they want to put out because they'll put out, just like everything else, white people are mass murderers and everything else. So let's be real about it. They paint a picture of how they want to paint it, and they show and they try to put everybody in their own little demographics, their own little bubbles to show what they want to show. But all black people aren't black people, aren't bad people, and all black people aren't killing black people.
You know what?
That's correct.
It's sort of how white mafia is glorified.
Yep.
The black mafia are criminals.
Correct.
Al Capone.
Yep.
Lucky Luciano.
Yep.
Yep.
It's a fact.
That's a fact.
And also here, like moving here, I realized that it's more white on white crime here than anything. Because since I've been here in
That's
this area, I've seen pedophiles caught. I've seen someone, he kidnapped some lady and brought her to a house and cut her head off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, it's crazy. You know,
That's
like
what I'm
being
saying.
here, it's like, I'm like, hold up, okay, so now I'm here, so now I hear about it.
Yeah.
It wasn't on national news or anything.
It's not ever on national news. However, what they put on national news, hey, this gang boss have killed this person. 9 times out of 10, like it's a black person. They will definitely, like, even here, I can tell you there's more stuff that come on the news that's involving what black people did anything. And that's foul. 1,000% foul.
So that's why we don't speak on it, because if we speak on it, it's going to kind of keep it going.
Exactly.
So just shut up and don't say anything because, like, hey, yeah, it happened.
Do we talk about, like, do I talk about my house? Absolutely, I'm gonna talk about it in my house.
Sure.
We talk about. I tell my kids what to be aware of and what to look out for. Why? Because it is dangerous being a black person in America.
All right. I mean, I do think that the media is a big psyop, right? I mean, that's what the media is about control. I mean, we'll get to that in a future episode of Black Chat for sure, because that's one of my main topics, is that I think the media's job is to control the populace to get them to believe whatever the hell they want them to believe. And you can look at that through black on black crime. You can look on that through political beliefs. There's a certain wedge of the media who wants to, let's just say, push a narrative.
Yeah, paint a narrative.
Yes, they're narrative driven. It's about narrative control. They do this all the time, and it's not just race. It's a great many things.
Yeah.
Okay, number 4. Why is everything about race?
It's always been like that in this country. You gotta look at it. It's always been like that in this country, from Indians to black people. It's always been like that in this country. Mexicans always been about it in this country. That's the way it is. Like, you can't change it. Like, unfortunately, they don't see everyone as being equal. And that's black, white, Puerto Rican, Asian, women, children, men, doesn't matter. They don't see everything equal. If they feel like you're gonna bring anything to society, they don't give 2 F's about you. Like, it's hard in this country. Hard.
What do you think, Hassan?
I believe everyone plays a role. Break it down like this.
All right.
You know, even when
Break
it
it
comes
down.
to sports, you know, like when someone is born in a cold climate, they perform better in a colder climate. When someone's born in a hot climate, they perform better in a warmer climate. And I hope this doesn't come off as racist, but the Mexicans do things that we just don't want to do. Like on the side selling fruit, we just don't want to do that.
We used to.
And we kind of put everyone in those particular categories. Like, oh, you want your house built, get you a Mexican. You know what I'm saying? When you want your car fixed, oh, get you a Hispanic or a Puerto Rican or a white guy. You know what I'm saying? Or when it comes to sports, oh yeah, he'd be good at this, he'll be good at that. It's part of the stereotypes because listen, I can't play basketball, so like, I don't play football. You know, so I guess I'm like an exception to the rule. I mean, I believe there's a lot of us like that.
Yeah.
But that's where the racism comes in, because we kind of put we stereotype everyone, and we put them in their own categories, and we don't see them outside of it.
All right, so
Even as black people,
all right, so
we don't see them outside of those roles.
But
So,
don't you think that race is just a way to subjugate us further? Don't you think that race is being used as a tool to promote further, I guess, kind of pushing people away from each other? Is it just another mechanism to get us to fight? I guess when you have all these things going on, and I'm going to bring this up at a later point, and I'll probably get in trouble for this. But when you have all these things going on, such as Epstein and hurting kids, SA with kids, all of these topics that we know goes on in this country, but yet we're always talking about, well, there's this racial issue going on, or it's the aliens, they kept dropping the aliens last year when it was convenient for them to drop it. But I look at, these are narrative pushers. This is just, we don't want the populace to know what's going on, so we're going to drop in this quick thing. What are your thoughts on that?
So here's my thing, right? And to your point, right? So I remember in Tulsa, Oklahoma, there was a place called Black Wall Street. All right? Mm-hmm. So Black Wall Street was a booming, prosperous community in the black community where black people was doing everything that you said. We had our own businesses. We were selling things. We were doing things. We were building things. We had our own houses. But the sad part about it is when black people started becoming prosperous, it was taken away from us by white people. So when you start talking about Hispanics and everybody else coming to this country, I feel like black people forget that this country was built on our backs. Everything that you deal with, we was built on our backs. Stoplights, us. The lights, us. Telephones, us. The crazy thing about it is everything that we have been in, a white person took credit for it. That's me being real with it. So if you want to be real, let's be real.
I mean, we gave you peanut butter.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't understand. What's
still,
the problem? We gave you peanut butter and the cotton gin.
The first successful open heart surgery was done by a black man. Dr. Daniel Hale Williams, the first one to ever do it. But the sad part about it is, we have painted his neck. I think when it comes down to something we do in this country, black people have forgot the way. Black people forgot that we are the pioneers, really. And when they talk about Mexicans and everybody else, the difference between us and them, they hustle. We've had the same grind, same benefits that everybody else, but we forgot our way. Just like we forget when they say, I got out of the mud. Do you know how to get it out the mud? I grew up in the hood. I grew up in the DatGum projects. And I'm still getting out the mud. I'm not satisfied with where I'm at, period, bar none. So yeah, I think society has painted that narrative that hey, this person can do this person can do that. But we're really, to be honest with you, we can do the same damn thing. That's just me being real and transparent.
So I got a question for you real quick. And then we're going to stop this. We're going to do a two-parter with this episode.
All right, bet.
So my question to you would be this. Do you think that, how do you think that black people have, if there's this overarching strategy to keep black people down, how do you think that you've been successful in this nation? If there is this push from I'm just talking generalities, right? I know you're not talking about all white people, but if you're talking about white people holding black people down, how is it that someone like you has succeeded? How is it that someone like Hassan is seated here today? How can we have these things happen if there's this overarching whatever you want to, white privilege that's pushing everyone down to make sure that they're not successful? How is that possible?
Can I answer that first?
Go ahead,
Please.
It's just on my mind.
No, please.
One thing with me, what I noticed was, as a black man, I have to come in with everything when my white counterpart doesn't. Mm-hmm. I had to come in with a master's degree. I had to come in with all this experience because I've tried and it failed. So I had to come in with all of that just to get in the door. When my counterpart didn't, it was given to them.
Are you speaking to someone in particular?
No.
Like
I'm
Robbie J?
No, I'm not talking about any of you. No, I'm not saying that. But it happens, and I have this discussion. We have this discussion as black people. We have it all the time.
Yeah.
How we have to come in with these skills that's just enormous. Like we have to come in with all this experience, all this education, and just to get in the door when other people would just, okay, look, you know him, okay, yeah, come on in, and we don't get that same opportunity a lot of times.
Okay.
You know,
Hassan and I work together, by the way. That's why
Yeah.
I was giving him a hard time.
All right, so you wanna know how I did it? It's real simple.
Yeah, please.
Right? So I come from an abusive home, right? So stereotypes said that because I grew from an abusive home, I'm supposed to be abusive. Stereotypes said as a black man, I'm supposed to be dead before I'm 21. Stereotypes said I'm supposed to drop out of high school. Stereotypes said I'm supposed to have a successful marriage. So you know what I hate? Stereotypes.
Yep.
For the simple fact is, I've always wanted to be different, and I vowed to be different. So for me, you can't tell me that to get out of the hood, you gotta play basketball. You can't tell me to get out of the hood, you gotta play football. When there's other means to be successful in his life. I grew up where my grandfather said, hey, and this is biblical, if you don't work, your family don't eat. That's how I made a difference. You can't tell me what I can and can't do. Because if you tell me that, like, as a black people that we used to be out selling watermelons to make that dollar, that's what I'm gonna do. For me,
I use watermelon, man.
like in the summertime, straight up in the summertime, like, I would go to like my cousin's farm, cause like we used to go out, cause like, and like his family had a farm in Byron, Georgia. We'll go there and we'll pick peas, pick watermelon, stuff like that, and we'll go and flip it. That's a hustle. You can't I'm about showing other people straight up. You don't have to be a part of the stereotype and fall victim to that narrative that you gotta do this to be successful in life. That's BS. Like literally, I can tell you, I've been held at gunpoint. I can tell you that like my cousin and stuff like did this, that, and the third. I can tell you that, but I don't want to be a part of that. I want to be what I know that we're able to be. We have always been a people that have fought and grind to get to where we at, and we're still fighting and grinding to be where we at. And there's no sense where you're not gonna tell me that I gotta shoot a basketball, throw a football to be successful in this life. That's BS. There's nothing that you're gonna hold me back on. Because even when I retired from the military, it's real easy for me to sit back and be like, when they told me, hey, you can't come to work on this day, I could have sat back and sat on my hands. But as a black man, I showed my daughters what a man do. I got daughters look up to me. I got sons looking up to me. They seen me work every day to find a job to provide for my family. That's what I'm about. I'm not about stereotypes. I've been spending stereotypes since I was dadgum 17. I've been on my own since I was 13. Let's talk about it.
So I'm going to turn it around on you. Is that not the American experience? To have to hustle, to have to work from nothing to get to something, is that not a collective experience? I'm not saying it's equal for everyone. I'm just saying that in general, does not everyone have to start at ground zero and have to work their way up to get the respect? Now, to Hassan's point, when he's talking about, well, I have to come in with more, I'm not speaking to that. I'm talking about from a base level perspective, don't you have to in America come in with your full self, and either you're willing to work or you're going to fail? Is that not a collective experience?
No, it's not.
You don't think so?
No, it's not, because you gotta look at it like this. Let's break it down like this, right?
Yep.
So my daughter, and I remember this, and she was like, "Hey, Dad, I'm doing a paper on jobs in America," and I was like, "So what you researching?" She was like, "I'm researching surgeons." I said, "Okay." I said, "I'm gonna tell you like this." I said, you're going to be very surprised to find out that there's a difference in pay scale. She was like, no, I'm not, Dad. Like, we all get paid the same. I said, so no, you're not. I said, I want to bet you're going to look up and you're going to find that black doctors, especially women, get paid less than male doctors that are white. And that's a fact. She did. She was like, wow, Dad, I didn't know that. See, believe it or not, everything is paid for the Caucasian race. For the black race, we gotta work a whole lot harder. If you put me and you side by side and we walked in the building, they're gonna question my credentials versus questioning yours. And that's a fact. That's because like even me come back in the building, I was questioning why I was getting my position. Not knowing that I have my master's degree. Not knowing that like the years before I retired, I grinded. Not knowing that I spent 22 years in the military fight for this country. I've done my damn time. I've hustled to get to where I was at. So don't play me like that.
You know, when I came in the building, no, true
I
story.
thought he was white.
yeah,
I did.
But no, when I came in the building, someone asked me because I was getting my badge. They said, contractor? I'm like, no. Why contractor? Someone said that to me.
I don't know what that means.
Listen,
No, please.
we
I'm
can't
asking
really speak
because I
on
want to
it.
know.
We can't speak on it, but normally, like contractors, you know, coming as a contractor, you don't need everything that I actually needed to get where we are.
So from my experience, at least with contractors, it depends on where you are. Because if you're, let's just say up north, as I like to say, up north, contractors make good money, bro.
They do.
So
They do.
I don't know that that's necessarily.
But because of how it is there, me probably wouldn't.
Okay, I mean, I can't speak to that. I
You
don't
know,
know. but-
yeah, listen, like,
I'm just telling
think about the first time you saw me. You was like, hold up, man.
No, I was. So I'll
Hold
tell
up,
everybody.
what's going on here?
Yeah.
So I heard. Can I use your name?
No.
Okay.
No.
So I heard, let's just call him Timmy. So Timmy came into the office, and I was like, well, that's a very white name. This is going to be a white guy. So I come
everyone
in,
who knows, they'll
I'm
know what you're
looking,
talking about.
I'm looking at the form, and I'm like, okay, Timmy's going to be coming in, and, you know, he's got all this education, whatever. So I keep looking, and we have like this group of folks that come into the office. So I'm looking through the group of folks, and I'm like, where the hell is this Timmy guy? I don't see any white Caucasian guy who works on his truck every day. I'm not seeing that. So come to find out, when Hassan came into the office, he was a black guy, and I was like, your name's Timmy? And he was like, yeah, it's Timmy. I was like, okay, that's not his
Logan
name.
thought the
But,
same thing. He was like, hold up, man.
Yo.
Something's wrong here.
Yo,
Did
like-
the
right,
guy look-
we just assumed.
But you know what? My
Yeah.
name has gotten me into plenty of doors throughout the years.
I love to see it.
If
Just change your name.
to be
That's all
honest-
you have to do, Paul.
No,
Just
but-
change your name.
No, you gotta
It's
change
all right.
your look.
You'll be all right.
Gotta change your look. You know, I get stereotyped more, even amongst the black community, because I have a beard and dreads. Oh, excuse me, a beard and locks. Like, even where we work, how people respond to me now because I have a beard and locks is totally different than when I was in the military and I was clean shaven.
But this is my point, Paul, is don't you think that this is, it's just cultural? Don't
No.
you think our society
No.
is just wired to make everyone look like an idiot?
No.
Like, I mean, for example, if you come in, if you're a white guy and you come in with all tats and stuff like that.
And a bald head.
Right. Or you come in with your hat on, like, sideways,
Yeah,
and you're
yeah.
walking in
You're
like
definitely
this,
gonna be viewed
and all that,
different,
then people have an assumption that's not
Yeah.
necessarily true. So I'm not downplaying the race. Please don't take it that way. I'm not downplaying the racial aspect. I think you're correct about that. But I am saying that there is a thing in American culture to just make the quick assessment, immediate, this is what you look like a scumbag, and I'm not dealing with you. It doesn't matter what race you are, it's an immediate reaction that they have. It's a guttural reaction.
It's more accepting when if it's a white person come in that's like that. It's literally more accepting. Like legitimately, it's more accepting. They will take that over any day than a black man that has tats all down their arms and their hands. Like, it's sad that
on
like
their neck.
and on their neck, like literally, it's
Like
literally
some people,
it's literally sad. Like my daughter, she's tatted. I tell her, you know what, Kermit, slow down on getting tats like that are shown. That's where we at now. Like, legitly, let's be real. Like, I can speak from my standpoint. Like, yo, I've been pulled over by driving while black. I've been in situations, and I deal with this junk on every day. I can go to Walmart, and I get stares. Like, for real. I get stares.
I mean, I
like,
get stares because I have a big nose. I don't understand. I'm just
No,
kidding, Paul.
man.
It's just a joke.
yo,
But yeah, no, I
bro.
hear you.
Hey, yo, so check this out, man. So we're going to continue this conversation. This is part 1. Stay tuned for part 2.